Welcome. I didn't realize the audio was turned off. Welcome. Today is day three of the week one of our build series. So if you're coming across the stream for the first time, this is a series of stream where we're building products, building AI enabled products from scratch. So we start off from day one without an idea. We look for an idea to build. Then by the end of the week, we want to have built and deployed a product, at least a usable MVP of the product. And that's exactly what we've been doing in the past streams. Today is day three, meaning we've done day one and day two. Day one, we came up with an idea to work on and we started prototyping. Day two, we continued with the prototyping, finalized what the prototype should look like, and we're able to design or come up with a final product requirement document. Then, based on the PRD, we also came up with an implementation document. So, today we're going to dive deep into the actual build, the coding aspect, even though we're using AI to do the coding for us. But before then, let me confirm that the audio is fine on all the platforms we are streaming to. So, streaming to YouTube, Facebook, and X. So just want to confirm that the audio is fine. Then we start. Okay. Audio. Good. Yes, that is confirmed. I know that the audio is working pretty well. So we can get started now. Let's go to our notebook and building products live. This is the one that we're working on. And I need to bring up Cursor. We started yesterday, we put our PRD and implementation documents inside Cursor. Unfortunately, my computer froze before we could finish what we're doing yesterday. But what we actually did was to finalize the implementation plan, and the plan was actually broken down into different phases. Let me see. Make sure you can see everything. Yep. The plan is broken down into implementation phases. Hold up. Let's see. Let me change. Okay. All right. Let's see. How about this? Does it make it visible? Trying to figure out the right background to use to make it visible. Okay, let's go with the dark one. Okay, so this is the implementation plan that we made. Oh, Cursor SDK custom agent. Interesting. Call agent directly from your CI/CD pipeline. Build bespoke automations or embed Cursor in your products. Interesting. Get to production quickly. Build on Cursor's optimize infrastructure. Okay, 50% off Composer. True May 5th. All right, we'll try it later. But essentially, we are going to say proceed because that's what we had started yesterday. And unfortunately, the computer froze. So basically, starting from there, saying proceed, and let's see what it cooks for us. Today, our goal is to have at least some basic version of our application live. Like we want to create it and host it. But I'm really curious to, like, I want to really show you how easy it is to host some of these applications. In the time being, as this is it's loading, maybe I can start walking you through what we need to do. So it's basically building or writing the code now. Ooh, my tablet doesn't seem to be connected. Nope. Doesn't seem to be connected. What is going on? Okay, now it is. So as we're building, once it is done building, or at least when we have any code, let's say something that is usable, we want to be able to host this online so that we can start using the application or start playing with it. So one of the very first things we need to do is to make sure that we have the code on GitHub. We need that first and foremost. So if you have no idea about this, you have to learn about something called Git. In fact, I have a very cool tutorial on this on YouTube. It's been a while since I created it, but still very valid, and I see people watch it every now and then. So we're going to push the code to GitHub. Once we have it on GitHub, because we're using Nest.js for the web framework that we're using, we're going to then connect our GitHub repository to Vercel. Vercel is the company that owns or created Nest.js, which is the framework that we're using. Okay, but they have simplified the process of hosting Nest.js application, and they have a very generous free tier. So we're going to host it on Vercel. In addition to hosting the actual application on Vercel, we would also need a database. So to be able to host the database, we're going to use another free service called NeonDB. And I've been using NeonDB for a while now. I really enjoy using it, even though most of the time it's their free version that I'm using. And sometimes it's not like the most reliable when you're using their free version, but at least for the purposes of what we want to use it for, and for almost all my side projects that I use the PostgreSQL database, I tend to use NeonDB. If I'm not using NeonDB, then I would end up using Supabase. So those are the two options that I use when my database is a PostgreSQL database. So that's what we're going to do, which means that we'll need to go into NeonDB and create a new project. We create a project in NeonDB and we'll copy the string. So it will give us some connection string that we're going to copy and provide in our environment variables in our project. That is what will be needed. What other thing? I think those, okay, we also mentioned that we're going to have resend. Resend is basically the platform that helps us send emails easily in our application. So automating emails, for instance, we can implement what we call magic link when we build our application. A magic link essentially is when you're trying to sign into an application where they only provide a field for your email, you put in your email, they send you a link via your email, and you click on that link to access the platform. So you don't need to remember any password. For as long as you have access to your email, then you can get access to it. That's what Magic Link is. So if we want to be able to use or leverage Magic Link, then it makes sense for us to have recent set up. Also, if somebody loses their password and they want to reset their password, you want to be able to send the email to their account, which means that you need something like recent. So recent will also we need to go there, and either if you don't have an account, you have to create an account for it. Then we need the I mean the environment variables. So recent will give you some environment variables, and you have to also set what your sending email is. Which email are you going to send from? Okay, so we're going to capture those ones and put it in our environment variables. Vessel makes it very easy to add environment variables. We're going to see that shortly. So my goal is that by end of today's stream, at least we'll have the basic app set up on all of these platforms. We also are integrating AI components using Gemini. So it means that we will need to also grab the Gemini API key. And for that, we would get it from the Google AI Studio. So Google AI Studio is where we'll get the API from, the API key from. So we'll need to get one from here, and one from NeonDB. Those are the keys that we need. As soon as we have these keys, our application is going to be ready to work. So let's go back to the code and see what this guy, oh no, shouldn't have gone away. All right, so it's now scaffolding these things. You can see that it has created some documents or files here, and pretty soon we'll have the basic version of the app up and running. Whoo. This, okay, let me accept it. These two documents, the Claude.md and the agents.md, this is not the Next.js you know. This version has breaking changes. Interesting. Which version of Next.js is this? 16.2.4. So what is the big deal? 16.2.4. I've used that before. Anyway, I don't think it's so essentially what these two documents do, and now you can see that it's basically empty for the Claude.md, referring it back to the agents.md. This is where you put any instruction that you want the AI agent to pay particular attention to. So if you have any sort of guidelines, any sort of best practices when you're coding, you want to put them in here. So if you do this for a while, you begin to identify patterns that these AI agents struggle with. So if you come up with solutions or guide in order to save yourself the waste of tokens and waste of your own time, you're recommended to put those instructions in the agent.md or the Claude.md, so that the agent would follow that and give you like the best performance possible. Okay, so we're waiting. Now it is configuring the authentication and database component. Let's see how that goes. Okay. Validating the Prisma schema. Install the PG adapter. So that's an adapter for PostgreSQL. Ooh. Mm, we cooking. Can't wait to see what it cooks. Okay, now we're installing resend. I think as it's doing this, we should go create those extra, but we still need to remember, to be directing it. All right, then let me exercise patience and wait for it to finish. See, it deleted the landing page, and now I'm creating a new one. Let's see what it creates. Okay, so we have the odds and we have the marketing. So this is the landing page is creating. Hmm. Not as extensive as we wanted, but we can always come back to prompt it to generate it. Onboarding form. Okay, interesting. All right, so it's trying to start a server for us. Running a build. All right, I think we are very close to having the first view of the app. Don't know why it usually likes to write the migration file itself, whereas you could easily generate it. Okay, this is to run build. Okay, anyway, I just want to copy this. I hope they put it in the example. So usually you find this .env example. This tells you the environment variables that you need to fill in, but ideally it has to be in .env. This is the actual one where you're going to put your environment variables. So now we'll need to go generate the environment variables and make sure that we filled in all of these. For the better odd secrets, usually you can get one of these online. You can get an environment or values like generated online. It's just supposed to be a secret. So you go online and search for odd secret generator online, and you come across some of these. Just click generate. It just has to be a random string. And ideally, you don't want to ever show any of your environment variables on, publicly. Never ever show that. So, whilst I am doing this for the odd secrets, not so important. I can change it anytime. So what I'll be doing is I'll show you the process of getting the rest of the environment variables, but then I'm going to hide them subsequently when I grab the environment variables. So the next environment variable would be, we need the beta auth. On our local, we can set it to localhost port 3000 as already set by the example. But if we are deploying on Vessel, we need to figure out the Vessel's URL and put it in there. And I'll show you how Vessel usually generates the URL. So go ahead and say we need this and that. For now, great. For now, it's fine to have the onboarding at recent.dev because we are testing. Then the next thing, so we have two things, the recent API key and the database itself. Those are the two that are really important right now for us to get started. So I would go and find API key, neon.tech, then log in. Okay, so log in here. It's one of the accounts. Then once I'm logged in, I'm going to create a new project. Let's call this Camille. Then I think the default setting is okay. So you proceed, and this, you click on connection string, and this shows you the connection string. So you see that they've hidden the password, because the password, if somebody has that password, they would be able to connect to your database and do harm to you if that was the intention or whatsoever purpose they wanted to. All right. Usually, I like to create a new database. I'll call this Camille so that I know exactly the database that I'm working with. Then I'll copy this. So click copy snippet. That is it. I'm not going to show this right now. So let me hide my feed. Sorry, guys. This just need to take precaution because I'm doing this live. Anybody at all can see it and go behind my back right now. So let me, I'm going to be pasting it in my environment variables. Good. Then let's go and get that of recent. So ideally, I shouldn't even show getting that of recent. So what I would say is, for recent, you just need to go to recent. Let me go there and show you. I'm not going to grab any API key from recent. I just want to show you how it is done. So recent.com, that is email for developers. Make sure you have an account and log into your account. I believe I have an account with my Google account. Yes, I believe so. Ooh, I hope so. Oh no, I don't have any account here. That's interesting. Okay, so if I don't have any account here, this is a new account. So ideally you want to come to API keys. Oh, I have an account about a year ago and I've never used it for anything. Okay, so what you're going to do is you click create API key, then give the API key a name. So building projects live, let's call it that. And it's going to generate the key, but I'm not too sure whether it will show the key or not. So I am going to hide this view because I don't want anyone to see the key that it generates. So just click add, and okay, good. It didn't even show the key, but I'm copying it into my env, so I'm not showing that as well. Then now I can show you my screen once again. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Then you copy by using the copy icon here, copy that, and now paste it in your environment variables. That's how you get your API key. When I click done, you now get access to the key again. So now we have our recent API key. We have our NeonDB, which is our Postgres database URL. Then we have our better auth secret. So you're pretty much okay to launch our application for the first time. We need to open a terminal. So in Cursor, you find a terminal up here. Click that. Then we are running. I usually like pnpm dev. And if you're totally new to this and wondering, how do I know which command to use? So these are package managers that we use, npm, pnpm, and usually the commands that you can run can be found in what we call package.json. So you look for the file package.json here, and inside here you see the scripts. These are the commands that you can run. So when I run pnpm dev or npm run dev, it actually runs this command. But I just need to remember that the command is dev. So if you're using npm, you usually do npm run dev. If you're using pnpm, then it's pnpm dev. And yep, now we have it opened. We can click to open in a browser, and everything is inside Cursor itself. So this is what it looks like now. And we will now prompt it to go ahead and design, but we wanted the initial interface to be ready. So the next thing I'll do ideally is go to the browser and create a repository on GitHub. So I go to github.com, then new, create, this will be near Obed, create Camille. And do I make it public? Yeah, I think it's fair to be public. Maybe all the things that I build publicly, I'll make it public. Any of you can have access to the repository if you wanted a code. All right, then now I can easily copy this for Cursor and say, let's push to GitHub. Then I give it everything that I copied for it to do that work. Ideally, you can open a terminal and do it yourself. That is totally fine. Could have run all those commands on the terminal. But if you want the AI to do everything for you, that's how you go about it. Yes, push. This is the commit message that's written. All right. Okay, so now it is done. If we go back to GitHub and refresh here, this is what we have. So pretty much it. I'm going to prompt the agent to start building out the interface. So proceed with the next phase following the implementation plan. Remember to update the status of the task. So you can get started on that whilst we go to Vercel to host what we have built, vercel.com. When you open Vercel, if you don't have an account, you have to create one, but as soon as you have an account, you can add new projects. Then you usually want to connect with GitHub. This I've already connected with GitHub, so you can see that 1 minute ago this repository was created, and now I can import this repository. But I need it automatically detected that this is a Nest.js project, and the project name is called Camille. And I was telling you about how Vessel generates the URL. So ordinarily, Vessel will give you a URL that is like the name of the repository that you have. So in our case, where's my pen not writing again? Oh, come on. Okay, so Vercel will give you a name with a repository name. So in this case, our repository name was Camille, right? LLE. So easily you'll find Camille dot hey, I can't even do a dot. Oh my goodness. Dot Vercel. What is happening? Dot Vercel dot app. That's what you usually find. However, if most of the one worded words, if the word is already taken, then you're not going to get that. So Vercel will usually add something random here. But if you want to control that, then you have to change the domain and add something. So say camel-app.vercel.app. If not, you can just allow Vercel to come up with its own thing. So here, I'll just allow Vercel to come up with its own thing. If Camille is available, then it will give it to us. If not, then we will go with whatever it provides us. Otherwise, we can equally update it afterwards. The next important thing is your environment variables. Remember, I showed you earlier some of the environment variables. The fastest and easiest way is if you have created environment variables on your local, you just copy and paste. Like come here, copy everything from your environment variable. Don't worry about it. Then do your control V to paste, and Vercel will automatically detect all of that in terms of the key and the value. It will automatically detect them. Okay, so that is one of the things that makes Vercel very cool to use. You can equally import the .env file if you have you can have direct access to the file, then you can equally import it. But very important, this is also one of the things that you don't want to show publicly, especially when you are hosting it online, especially if it comes with, say, AI API keys. Very, very important. The last lesson that I learned the hard way, I don't know how the exposure happened, but it seems somebody found a way to my Google or Gemini API keys, and I was billed for a little over $800 just because I don't know how the person had access to it. So to be cautious, let me not show the screen right now. They say once bitten, it's 135 times shy. So let me go find my EMV file, copy everything here, then go to the cell and paste everything. Okay, done. Then click deploy. Deploy, perfecto. So now I can show my screen whilst it is deploying. So we started, it is deploying. It has to run the entire build, and if the build doesn't fail, then it would succeed, give us a link that now we can access the platform that we've built online. And the good thing is that anytime we make any changes to our code and push to GitHub, it automatically deploys to Vercel. So we don't have to worry about it. This is one of the reasons it makes hosting things with Vercel so easy. Let me turn on this lights. Like the sun is setting on. Okay. Then go back to cursor Let's see what's going on. Install. Okay. Google Gen A. Let me confirm something. Sometimes this thing, okay, I think Gen A is the right one. Sometimes it makes a mistake of using the old Gemini models, which doesn't work. So AI Studio, and I hope I don't have any API keys here. Nope, nope, don't come here. Okay. So let's see. I think if you want to do something, they will usually give you, let's say this. Oh no, get code. Yeah. Ooh, why is that not working? Currently offline. How can I be offline? Still saying you're currently offline. Otherwise, we have to go to the docs. So that is also available. Keep saying that I'm offline. Okay, yeah, get code. So it's google.gen AI. That's correct. So that's definitely, see here. Even though this is in Python, we need to change this to TypeScript. Yeah. So here it tells you this is how you install it from here. Then you install this. So that's what Kesa was trying to do on our behalf. Hopefully, you got it right. And think our deployment succeeded. So we can go back to the cell. This is our deployments. Click on it and boom. So we have Camille beta.vessel.app. So it means the single word Camille wasn't available. So it added slash beta to it, which is fine. The thing about this is we now need to go into Vessel, the projects, so we can go back to our project, open the Camille project. Then in here, you can come to environment variables and you see the variables we added, but we need to change the beta auth URL, which we put the localhost one. So we need to change this by editing and updating that with what we had. Otherwise, you won't be able to sign into the account. And once you are done with that, you have to redeploy. In the same way, anytime you add any new environment variable, you need to redeploy for it to take place. So if we generate our API key for the Google Gemini, the Gemini API key, we'll need to put it in there. Oh my goodness, did I just do this? I need to go reset everything. I hope I don't do that again. I need to learn my lesson. After having paid how much? Still haven't learned my lesson. Oh god. Yeah. It is what it is. Okay, so let's see as it works through the rest of the plan. Go Cloud. Ooh. We even have S3 in here. Hmm. Mm, okay. Let's see how far. inserting a progress tracker and converting M1 tax lines to checkbox format. Okay. So create an account. So the env.example has been updated. We need this. We need this env. All right. So I'm going to go to Gemini, the AI Studio where I showed you. Let me go there. That one is very risky, so I am pretty much cautious because the last time, as I said, spent some huge amount of money for someone else. So you open the URL is aistudio.google.com and find this place where this says get API key and generate one, copy it. You'll easily see it once. So you make sure you copy it into somewhere safe that you can use. But I'm going to copy it. However, I'm not going to show my screen. So let me hide it for now and go back to cursor first, add that to env, then come here to Google and generate the API key. Okay. All right. Key generated. Copy this and paste it in here. Good. The last thing I'll do before I show my screen now, I'm copying that API key to Vessel. So I'll go to Vessel and go to the specific project and look for environment variables and look at add environment variables. I'm not showing this because of keeping the private key private. Then there's no point redeploying because we haven't pushed the update. And as soon as we push the update, the system will automatically redeploy itself. So, yep. Let's go. I need to get out of here. All right. Then make sure we are also out of here. Okay, cool. So now I can share my screen again. All right, we have about 15 minutes. Let's see what we can do in 15 minutes. Still open for full M1 tracked in the plan. Time base, debounce. All right, you proceed. For now, just keep going. We want to ship something. I want to be able to test that thing to make sure that it works. But yeah, now we can create an account. So let's create an account locally. Use my email. Obed. Mm. Sometimes I don't even know if it is okay to share my email publicly like that, but anyway, for the purposes of this, it doesn't matter like that. Sign up failed. Why did it fail? Oh, okay. This has to do with a database URL. The table doesn't exist, which means that we probably haven't run the migrations. So in that case, we would need to, you can copy the error, give it to the AI for it to fix it if that is what you're going through. But if you know what you're about, then you can equally do some on your own. So we need to run the migration. So nps prisma migrate dev. Let's run that. Hope it has access to the database. Okay, cool. Migrations done. Then we need to generate the client. So nps prisma generates. Good. So now we can go back and try signing up. Where is the browser? Try signing up. Good. So we've created an account now. It's asking us to set our profile, set up our profile. Daily target 30 minutes. Email me a quiet reminder if I skip a day. Keep transcript on my account. All right, it's all well. I don't even know what A2, B1, B2, C1. So language proficiencies. What does? Let me go find out. I need that. What does A2 mean in French language proficiency? A2 French proficiency or elementary French wastage within the CFR framework signifies a basic user who can understand and use frequently used expressions related to everyday matters like family. Okay, but I want all the levels. Let's check this. A1 is absolute beginner. All right, let me go take it to A1 then. All right, so we start. Oh, they didn't even add A1. No worries. Let's go to dashboard then. So practice scenario. It's like it's implemented a thing in a way, but the UI is definitely not close to what we really want. So we expect it to build out the UI as we go. Let me choose casual small talk and say begin. Let me see what has been built already. Disconnected. Okay. Basically, not there yet, but at least we're building something. We're cooking, baby. We're cooking. Then let me see. In the oh no. There's something that I'm looking for. Not this. Okay. Okay. Testing mic 1 2. All right. So it's building. It's building. Very soon we'll see something tangible. This is just testing the microphone to see if your microphone is working. I believe ideally it should also allow you to choose the kind of microphone, the built-in microphone or different types of microphone, because the microphone I'm speaking into right now, I don't think it's not my built-in microphone. So that means that this is wrong. Oh, so it is, instead of picking from my microphone, it's actually picking from the MacBooks. And I hope that, yeah, but for the stream, I'm not using the MacBook. In fact, I have like two other audio inputs. So ideally, it should allow me choose what the audio input is. Let's go. I was looking for, yeah, this is it. This is it. I hope so. No, there should be a way for you to easily stage and commit. Hmm. Used to be like an easy part in cursor. Now with the new UI, I don't even know the how. Because you'd have seen like a button to click so that you would generate the commit message and just push it. I need to figure that out because that makes it very easy to commit instead of waiting for me to type out a command or tell it explicitly for it to commit the changes. Okay, so commit and push update, and then let's continue. But still on you, a later pass AWS bucket. Okay, let's see what it has. S3 and audio validates an in progress practice, press sign, media recorder, finalize this, live panel, per session. Ooh. For the storage, is it possible for us to toggle between S3 and local storage? So now in development, I can have an env variable that sets storage to local storage just to test everything before adding S3 in production. Yeah, sometimes when you get so bogged down into the nitty gritties of these things, you don't end up finishing the thing that you wanted to finish. And remember, we have 5 days to finish this project. So I want to see at least something tangible, the minimum viable product, something that is usable, right? And once we've confirmed that everything works the way we want it, then we can proceed to implement all the nice to haves. S3 is one thing that I can log into an AWS account right now and generate or create a bucket and copy the environment variables. But then again, to access my AWS account right now will take a couple of minutes because of the security component. And basically, we're running out of time for the stream. Okay. Jacklam. Oh, you're stealing from it. Interesting. Thank you. Thank you. Stealing from ALS. I see. It's been a while. I really enjoy doing these live streams, and sometimes I wish I have all the energy to be doing them and teaching as well. I, I remember back in the day, I used to do streams of like 3 hours, 4 hours long, and I don't get tired. Nowadays, because I've not been doing it, even if I go like 1 hour, 2 hours, I'm already tired. But yeah, it's cool. One of the things about me is I always see these things as practice, like especially when you have to think aloud in front of people. Like it forces you to learn. There are things that you wouldn't learn until you're under pressure. So I like to put myself in those positions so that I am forced to learn. And because I do this, like I'm not really worried if I have to show up for an interview or For whatever reason, I have to show up before some group of people. I mean, I don't know who in the world will be watching this stream, but it is just training grounds, like, because I can assume that anybody at all in the world can come across this, right? So that room that I'm going to be in, why will I be scared because of whoever is coming into the room? Because in the first place, I put myself out publicly there and practice and practice and practice. Like, if I want to count the number of live streams that I've done up till now, I'm pretty sure it will count into the thousands. Like, we've done so many live streams, I can't even count them now. So yeah, and I see them, every single one of them that I do is still practice for me. Like, just keep practicing. Hopefully, we get better with practice. Right? It also challenges me to learn. Like, when you have to show up to teach things, you have to learn. You can't just show up. You need to know your stuff. You need to really be good. So you learn. For this particular live stream, I'm just doing the things that I do. Like, I've been building products. In fact, over the past 1 year alone, I'm pretty sure I've built more than 10 different projects, which are like to an extent, like, let's say 95% complete. And I've done this over and over. In fact, there are a lot of others that I also built along the line. And okay, let's show this. What do we have? What do we have? S3 key preface. Says audio storage back and optional. So I'll copy this and put it in my .env. But once again, I need to hide the screen to change something in the .env. Okay. My .env, where are you? Then I put this in here. Usually when you update your .env, you may have to restart your server, but if it automatically restarts, and that is good. So confirm. Did it? Okay, so you can see that here it says reload. So it means it's actually restarted itself, which is cool. So now what is here? It has pushed the update, which is good. S3 versus local storage, audio storage back and local S3 default. Let's see what I copied. Hey, where is what I copied? Over here, local. Okay. Then local means person returns the same origin, puts URL to this, which writes under local audio directory. Okay, good. At the project roots, layout matches the S3 key layout. All right, that's good. Next is in the plan is M3, diagnose job, Azure Plus, Gemini providers, history UI. Okay, but could we also make sure we refine the public pages and the UI of the existing pages to meet the prototype which we originally had in the HTML file? I know I'm jumping the implementation plan, but sometimes one of the things that can be very motivating is seeing the product take shape. Like, it's very, very motivating to see that, yeah, my product is coming together. And at this very moment, that's what I want to see, so that I know that something is cooking. You understand? Something is cooking. So in this case, let's see. I want to be able to see my landing page where I can pretty fine store this landing page. No, no, no. Show me the right landing page. No. At least if for nothing at all, we should leave today with our landing page created, which looks pretty cool. Right? It is cooking. Ooh. I should try and generate some songs from Suno and play them. I think I had some songs from Suno. Let me see. Oh yeah, now it is cooking. Now you are talking. You know, now you are talking. But let's go. Let me see if I can find some songs from Suno because I remember creating some Suno.com and play some song in the background for my streams. My library. Go to library. Let me just download it. Let's see this one. I think I like the first one. Let me download this. Download MP3 audio. Download anyway. Then go back. Go back. Go back. Back to. No, okay. That would be here. Music. Is there a way to add my own music? Okay, upload. Upload. Let's try this and see. If it works, then I can play my own music. Ooh, okay. Did it work? Tell me that it worked. Yep. So that worked. Listen. Yeah, now you can create music, beats, instrumentals, anything on Suno, which is pretty cool. Like I created these. I think what was I using for? The first time I created one, I think that was when I was doing the Steady With Me streams on YouTube. That's been a while. And at the time, Suno wasn't as great as it is right now. And basically, for videos that I create with audio in them, I usually generate the audio from Suno. Proceed. Say that. Then we'll be getting back to. Do I even remember the email and password I used? Type it now. Okay. Okay. Ooh. At least now our UI is getting close, which is good. home and UI. So the home opens the Gemini Live tutor after a short mic check. Okay, so let's test that. See, start conversation. It says disconnected, and it doesn't feel like the video call approach that we wanted. So we tell it to do that for us. Plus lentement. Speak slowly. Parlez plus lentement. Okay. Qu'est-ce que qu'a dit? Qu'est-ce que qu'a dit? What did you say? Répétez. Répétez. Ooh. Repeat for me. Répétez pour moi. Aujourd'hui, tout le monde parle. Qui sait parler? How do you even conjugate tout le monde? Tout le monde parle français. Et bonsoir mes amis. Aujourd'hui, je voudrais parler français avec vous. Voulez-vous? Yeah, so we want to build the app to be able to speak French, learn how to speak French. Camille, mon ami Camille, teach. How do you say teach in French? Learn is apprendre, but teach, to teach. What is to teach? I should remember this. The teacher is teaching. How can I forget that? Oh, my friend teacher will be disappointed in me. Teach. I know the word. Like, I know étudiant is student, but to teach is. Let me go find out. My friend teacher will be so disappointed in me. Teach in French. I said it. Oh my god. This thing was going through my mind as I but it crashes with something else that I know. Let's try. Essayer. Enseigner. Teach. Enseigner. 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 Oh god. I knew this thing. Enseigner. Enseigner. To teach. Okay. No worries. We're running a build, but why? History. Interesting. Why is everything in progress? I think for now I don't like the UI of the home and the actual conversation interface. It's not close to what we had from the prototype. The UI of the home and the actual conversation interface isn't close to what we had in the prototype. Can you review those and let's have the updated UI, the conversation, what do you say, interface? Conversation interface should feel more like a video call with a 3D AI avatar. Let's see what it comes up with. Hmm. Okay, so it's initially pushed the code. That means that if it finishes deploying, this should change. Oh, so probably not done. Let's go back. Let's see. Deployment, something deploying right now. 44 seconds ago. 1 minute ago. So why is this not changing? Come on. Don't joke with me. 1 minute ago. What's happening? Since 1 minute ago, but it hasn't changed. Doesn't mean it didn't push all of it. Let's confirm by checking the status. Oh, get status. Oh, okay. So it didn't push most of these things. So we would say get add, then get commits. My message would be update UI of landing page. Then get push. As I said, if you are totally new to Git and you want to learn it, I back in the day, a couple of years ago, I created some very cool and easy to understand tutorial on Git and GitHub on YouTube. You can basically just search Git and GitHub Ehonia or Ehonia Obit, and that would come up. Yep. But if you don't know anything about it, feel free to just ask the agent to push the code for you. So now that we've pushed that, very soon after it is done deploying here, so you can see that it is building. When you come to deployment, it's building. We're cooking. And once it is done and it's done, ready, if we refresh this, automatically the update is here. Update is here. So every one of you can use this link right now and you see the application that we're building. We're cooking as we're going. You understand? This feels like some magazine interface, not your regular website. But hey, the French friend who switches back. Interesting. The French friend who switches back. I don't think this is compelling enough. You know, when you work on products, some of these things are really important. The message there, does it speak directly to, so if you say the French friend who switches back, what does it really mean? Like, what would a random user who came across your product understand by that? And it's very difficult to understand anything like the French friend and who switches back. Like switches back to what? What exactly are we talking about? So I don't think it's the best wording or the best copy for the hero session, but at least I think this does really good justice to it. So Camille is a bilingual friend who speaks French with you and slips into English to explain the bits you missed, then guides you to say it back in French. That part makes sense, but the French friend who switches back. It's just that I'm not really paying attention to the copy, but something important, if you're building products for end users to use it, is definitely what trying to come up with the right copy that would speak directly to the pain points that you're solving. So if you're building a solution, your end user has a problem. Like I, for one, want to speak French, and as I say, struggling to learn how to speak French. So the product should speak directly to me, such that when I read that, it attracts me to want to read more, to find out more about what this product is. Okay, and all these things I'm saying, I mean, you can do some back and forth with the AI agents for it to come up with some suggestions. Then you choose amongst those suggestions, put yourself in the shoes of the end user, whoever is going to use your product. That is why it is important if you yourself are like a primary user of the product that you're building. If you're building a product for yourself first, it really means that you understand the pain points. You know what will resonate with someone like you, and therefore you go after that. Sorry, you need to pick this score. What's up? All right. So let's see the RPM euros. Okay. So let's confirm that this is the euro. Okay. Yeah. This is what was. Let's start a session, start a call. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. Yeah. Now it looks like what we had, but it's not functional. So we have the UI ready now, and tomorrow we'll continue from here to see if we get it to work. Stop and call. Okay. So tomorrow we're going to continue from there. Okay. This is what it looks like when you stop the call. But pretty much solid. Let's push this as well. Say git add, git commit. Then our message will be updates dashboard UI. Nope. What happened? Oh, did it already push? I guess. Let me do get status. Oh, so it already pushed the updates, which is fine. Pretty cool. All right, yeah, it did. So this is what we have, and you can all access the products now, at least what we have. And I know that if I don't take a, I need to go change the go change the API key, the Google API key before people exhaust the credit over there. It's on free trial. That means it can easily be exhausted. But if you want to see what we're building or what we're cooking so far, you can find it on camel-beta dot vessel dot app, and that is what we are cooking. That's what we are cooking. All right. So today is day 3, and I keep saying that I wish to do just 1 hour streams, and now it's 1 hour 22 minutes. So we'll end the stream from here and hope to continue tomorrow, which will be day 4. I hope to see you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you, God willing, tomorrow. Until then, bye bye for now. See you tomorrow. Okay.